Hey everybody, this is Valencia and welcome to my channel Balloons and Business, where I show you the business of balloon and event decor. So I know it's been a minute since I've really been putting videos out. I've been very busy this beginning of the year, I tell ya. So I haven't been on it like I should, but I am back with a new video today. I am going to be doing a prom party, a champagne party I guess they call it. And I'm going to be doing a monochrome colored balloon garland. Basically, monochrome is one color. And monochrome is a great way to make your balloon garlands look very high-end and sophisticated. It's something about one singular color, especially if the balloon garland is made nice and tight. You got multiple sizes and it's well done. It looks really high-end and classy. So I'm going to be doing a chrome silver monochrome balloon garland. Very, you know, high-end and sophisticated looking, okay? And I'm also going to be using the pearl method with my 5-inch balloons, you know, when I make it look like a string of pearls. So I'm going to show you how I do that in more detail. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how I made this balloon garland. So I'm using Sempertex brand mirror silver, or chrome silver as I like to call it, in 5-inch, 11-inch, 18-inch, and eventually 24-inch balloons. So I'm going to blow up 2 balloons at a time. I'm going to deflate some air from there and round the balloons out. And then I'm going to tie them together into dupes. You want to underinflate your balloons and make sure that they're nice and round, because that makes for a good looking balloon garland. And when it comes to these chrome balloons, they tend to be very coney in shape. So you definitely want to round them out. Press on the top of the balloon while releasing air from the bottom. Then I'm going to take my dupes and I'm going to twist them together at least twice into clusters. So you see me twisting my dupes together. So for each cluster, I twisted together 5 dupes. 4 of them were the 11-inch dupes and then 1 dupe of 18-inch balloons. So a total of 10 balloons for each cluster. So to connect my clusters together to make a balloon garland, I'm going to take one neck from one balloon in one cluster and a neck from another balloon in another cluster, and I'm simply just going to tie them together. And that's how I'm connecting my clusters to make my balloon garlands. So just to do some math, I connected 4 clusters to make 1 balloon garland. Each cluster had 10 balloons, so that's 40 balloons for this balloon garland. And I made 2 of these balloon garlands. So that's a total of 80 balloons for 2 small balloon garlands, and each balloon garland was 8 feet long. So now to make my pearl clusters, I'm going to start off with 2 5-inch balloons, and I'm going to do 4 pumps with my hand pump. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then I'm going to round the balloons out and then tie them together into dupes. I'm going to show it again for you how many pumps I did. I did 4 pumps, which is 1 out, 1 in, 1 out, and 1 in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And then I'm going to round it out and tie them together. So I'm going to take a Sempertex 260Q balloon and I'm going to tie it around one of the dupes. And I made about 12 dupes, 12 of these 5-inch dupes. And then I'm going to take another dupe, put it on the other dupe horizontally, and I'm going to take the 260 and wrap it around the top dupe and then around the bottom dupe. And that's how I'm going to be putting these string clusters together. So I'm going to take another dupe. I'm going to put that on vertically like I did the first one. Then I'm going to wrap the 260 around the top dupe and around the dupe directly below it. Then I'm going to put another dupe on horizontally, wrap it around the top dupe and the dupe directly below it. And that's how I am making my pearl clusters. So just keep alternating the direction of the dupes and just wrap the 260 around one balloon at the top and then one balloon on the dupe directly below it. And I'm tying in another 260 balloon to extend my string because I want my pearl cluster to be longer than this. So again, I used 12 dupes, which is a total of 24 balloons for this one pearl cluster. You can make it longer or shorter as you choose or wish to do. And here's my pearl cluster. Now, if you notice, I have my balloons in this mattress bag. That is a king size mattress bag. I got it off Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description box below. But I have the two 8-foot balloon garland bases as well as my pearl clusters. I made 4 of them. And now I am putting up this backdrop with the help of the event planner. And that is my backdrop stand. I got it from eFavorMart. So I just want to show you how I put the two 8-foot balloon garlands onto the backdrop stand. I just tied them on using the 260 balloons at 3 points, the top, middle, and bottom, and I tied each 8-foot garland on each side of the backdrop. So now I'm going to beef these balloon garlands up a little bit. So now I'm going to be beefing up these balloon garlands, and I'm going to be adding some small clusters of 11-inch and 18-inch balloons. I'm going to be making some small clusters of these, and I'm going to be attaching them to the balloon garland a couple different ways. I'm going to be using a 260 balloon for some of them. So I'm going to tie a 260 balloon around the small cluster and then wrap the other end of the 260 around a couple balloons in the balloon garland. So I'm showing you how I'm doing that right now. And then tying that onto the balloon garland. And then another method I'm going to use is the necktie method that I used earlier when making my clusters. I'm going to take like dupes and just take a neck from one of the balloons in the dupe and tie it to a neck in a balloon in the balloon cluster. So I'm showing you that right now. See, I'm adding those dupes right there at the top and the bottom. And I'm just tying the necks together. That's how I'm adding those dupes. You can also twist them in. You can twist dupes into balloons that are already in the balloon garland. So you got 3 different methods to add your additional balloons, balloon clusters or individual balloons or balloon dupes. So now it's time to add my pearl clusters. I am cutting a 260 balloon in half and I'm tying one on each end of the cluster. And that's how I'm going to add my pearl clusters to the balloon garland. I'm just going to tie them into the balloon garland using the halves of the 260 balloons. So one of the things I was looking for when it came to making this balloon garland is getting a nice shape out of these 2 garlands on each side. I didn't want them covering the names on the backdrop, but I wanted them to cover the pole and also have a nice little shape and flow to them. Another thing to note, you can add 5-inch balloons to your pearl clusters by just twisting dupes into the clusters. So this was my original design when I first finished. However, the client wanted it to be even bigger. I was conscious about the size of the room. I didn't want to make it too big, but she wanted it to be bigger and to spread out more at the bottom. So I'm going to show you how I added even more balloons to spread this out. So I started adding bigger clusters of the 18-inch balloons as well as some 24-inch balloons that I had. I was originally going to add the 24-inch balloons, but because I was too self-conscious about the size of the room, I didn't add them. But now I'm pulling out all the big balloons to add. So I'm noticing that the balloon garland is starting to look really bulky. I'm trying to keep the shape nice and flowy. So you will see me start to rearrange some of these balloon clusters, taking them off from the top right there and putting them more so at the bottom to maintain some type of shape and flow. I also ended up repositioning the pearl clusters at the bottom of the balloon garland, so the bottom left and bottom right. I just cut the 260 balloon that was holding them onto the balloon garland, got a new 260, and just rearranged it across the bottom there so that it would cover up new gaps that ended up getting created when I added more balloons. So you'll see at the very end how I just rearranged those pearl clusters. But it's very easy. So here is the finished product. The client was pleased with the size of this balloon garland. And I did rearrange those pearl clusters like I mentioned before. It's very simple. All you got to do is just cut the 260 balloon, add a new one, and just rearrange it to where you want it on the balloon garland. So in your opinion, which balloon garland did you prefer? The first one I did or the bigger balloon garland? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, go ahead on and like it, and please subscribe, and you'll get notifications for future videos on balloon and event decor. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.